There's a dangerous moment. I love that you always said yes, that you replied immediately, that you forgave without change, that you stayed quiet when they crossed the line. And the moment you begin protecting yourself, they say, "You've changed. You're becoming selfish. You're not the person you used to be." Maybe they are right. Maybe you are finally becoming someone who understands that kindness without wisdom can slowly destroy your peace. Kindness is not weakness. Compassion is not a flaw. The world desperately needs people who care. But when kindness is driven by fear, guilt, or desperation for approval, it stops being a virtue. It becomes self-abandonment. The Stoics believe that a good life requires both compassion and judgment. You should treat people fairly. You should help when you can. You should remain humane even when others are difficult. But you are never asked to destroy yourself to prove that you have a good heart. Here are 7 signs that your kindness has crossed the line into self-neglect, and how to correct it without becoming cold. The first sign is that you say yes when your whole body wants to say no. Someone asks for your time, your energy, your money, your attention. You are already tired. You already have responsibilities. But before you even think, you hear yourself saying, "Of course." Why? Sometimes it is generosity, but often it is fear. Fear that they will be disappointed. Fear that they will stop liking you. Fear that saying no will make you a bad person. But every careless yes contains a hidden no. You say yes to their request, and no to your rest, no to your work, no to your health, no to the promise you made to yourself. Before agreeing, pause. Ask, do I genuinely want to help? Or, am I afraid of what they will think if I refuse? A kind decision chosen freely is generosity. A kind decision forced by fear is resentment waiting to grow. The second sign is that you keep forgiving behavior that never changes. Forgiveness can release you from anger, but forgiveness does not require unlimited access. Someone hurts you. They apologize. You forgive them. Then they repeat the same behavior. Another apology. Another promise, another chance. Eventually, your forgiveness stops helping them grow. It teaches them that nothing serious happens when they mistreat you. The Stoic response is not revenge. It is clarity. You can release hatred while still changing the relationship. You can wish someone well from a distance. You can understand their pain without volunteering to become its target. Forgiveness concerns what you carry in your heart. Access concerns what you permit in your life. Do not confuse the two. The third sign is that you solve problems people need to solve for themselves. A friend keeps making the same financial mistake. You rescue them. A relative refuses responsibility. You cover for them. Someone creates chaos, then calls you to clean it up. You believe you are helping. But sometimes, rescuing people from every consequence prevents them from becoming stronger. Stoicism values personal responsibility that includes allowing people to experience the results of their own decisions. You can support someone without carrying them. You can advise without controlling. You can care without becoming responsible for a life that is not yours. Ask, is my help helping them grow or helping them avoid growth? That question may feel uncomfortable, but wise kindness is willing to create temporary discomfort when it leads to long-term strength. The fourth sign is that you remain silent to keep the peace. Someone disrespects you. You smile. Someone makes a cruel joke at your expense. You laugh nervously. Someone violates your boundary. You say nothing because you do not want conflict. But silence does not always create peace. Sometimes it only moves the conflict inside you. You replay the moment later. You become angry at them, then angry at yourself. A calm boundary is not aggression. You do not need to shout. You do not need to humiliate anyone. You can simply say, "That was disrespectful. Please do not speak to me that way. I'm not comfortable with that. This cannot continue." Your tone can remain calm while your message remains firm. Peace purchased by repeatedly betraying yourself is not peace. It is suppression. The fifth sign is that you measure your worth by how useful you are to others. You become the listener, the fixer, the dependable one, the person everyone calls during crisis. But when you need support, the room becomes quiet, and a painful thought appears. Maybe people only value me when I am useful. This often happens when kindness becomes an identity. You believe you must constantly give in order to deserve love. But healthy relationships are not transactions in which you must earn your place by exhausting yourself. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to need help. You are allowed to be present without solving anything. The right people will not only love what you provide, they will care about the person providing it. Stop asking, how can I make myself more useful? Start asking, is this relationship mutual? Do they know me or only my service? Can I receive here? Am I only permitted to give? The sixth sign is that you keep explaining your boundaries to people committed to ignoring them. You say you need space. They demand a detailed reason. You say you cannot help today. They pressure you until you feel guilty. You explain yourself again and again. Eventually, your boundary becomes a debate. You do not need to make every person agree with your limit before you enforce it. A respectful explanation may be appropriate, but endless justification often signals that you are asking for permission. Try simple language. I am not available. That does not work for me. I have already explained my decision. No, the word no is not cruel. It becomes cruel only when used carelessly or dishonestly. But when used with fairness and clarity, it protects your time, relationships, and character. The seventh sign is that your kindness has made you resentful. You give, you help, you accommodate, you sacrifice, but inside frustration grows. You begin thinking, why does nobody appreciate me? Why am I always the one giving? Why do people take advantage of me? Resentment is often a message, but it also does not require self-destruction. Give what you can give without secretly demanding repayment. And when you cannot give freely, be honest. A smaller act offered sincerely is often kinder than a large sacrifice followed by hidden anger. But there is an important warning. Do not use boundaries as an excuse to become selfish. Some people learn the language of self-respect and use it to avoid responsibility. They call every request toxic. They call every compromise people-pleasing. They call every difficult conversation a threat to their peace. That is not Stoicism. A good life still requires patience, duty, generosity, and sacrifice. The goal is not to protect yourself from every inconvenience. The goal is to stop confusing virtue with permanent self-erasure. Sometimes kindness means helping. Sometimes kindness means refusing. Sometimes it means listening. Sometimes it means telling someone a truth they do not want to hear. Sometimes it means staying. And sometimes it means walking away so that both people are forced to face reality. Kindness needs courage. Without courage, it becomes compliance. Kindness needs judgment. Without judgment, it becomes enabling. Kindness needs boundaries. Without boundaries, it becomes exhaustion. So do not become ashamed of your good heart. The world has enough coldness. Do not allow the wrong people to convince you that compassion was your mistake. Your mistake, you can remain gentle and still be firm. You can forgive and still leave. You can help and still have limits. You can love people without allowing them to repeatedly damage your peace. The strongest kindness is not the kindness that says yes to everyone. It is the kindness guided by truth, the kind that respects others without abandoning you. So the next time guilt tries to control your decision, pause. Ask, is this kindness or fear? Is this compassion or self-neglect? Am I helping or enabling? Then choose the answer that protects both your character and your dignity. Because a good heart should make your life more meaningful. It should not become the weapon other people use to destroy it.